Hi folks, back again. There was something appeared in the last video that you weren't supposed to see for another while yet, and it was to do with potatoes, but I'm going to have to show it now because it came up in the last video. When I was looking for something to put the potatoes into, I came across a suitcase in the garage. Now, I don't know about people there who have got children, but we have seem to have bought an extraordinary number of suitcases and we still only have one. And this is one that has been in England and Belfast and France and Italy and all over the place. And it worked really well for us, and it went off one time for a trip to a university and came back useless. But anyway, I decided to cut the top off and use it for potatoes for a bit of a laugh. And as you can see, they're doing well. Now there's bonuses as well. Like, I mean, it's even got a padlock on it, so nobody can steal my potatoes on me. But the best bit of all is, if I decide to go on holidays, I can take my potatoes with me. Isn't that super duper? So that's just that little bit of a bit of fun there. Those are Maris pears in there, and they're doing well. Now at the height of that there's the height there. Standard sort of family type suitcase thing would hold 25 kilos of luggage. So there should be a good depth of potatoes there because I've been earthing them up the whole time. So hopefully it'll work out okay. One little bit of advice I'd give you: if you decide to do something like this, crazy like this, when you're taking the lining out from the suitcase, everything is kind of interconnected. It's a bit like pulling that thread on a button on your suit and the arm falls off. When I took the lining out, the zip became, well, lost its integrity and started to come off the side. So that's why I've got the gaffer tape around the thing to hold it together. But we'll see how it goes. It's just a bit of fun. So I can't put my potatoes out because that noise you heard a few minutes ago was hailstones on the roof. We're getting our weather from Greenland at the moment, and it's very, very cold. The temperature in here at the moment is just about 60 degrees, and it feels very warm here. In the greenhouse outside it's absolutely freezing. It must be around about the mid 40s outside. It's really terrible. I'm just going to go back down here and do this little thing for Gary again because I kind of rushed through the last time. I've got new batteries. I'm going to buy a new camera because I saw the one Jason was using, the Kodak PlaySport, and it looks very good. Years ago, whenever I went in to buy something, I would say to the guy, I want the one with 5 million options, please. And he'd say, we've only got one with 4 million. And I go, all right, I'll take it. But now, when I go to buy something, I ask for the one with an on-off button because I really can't be bothered with all these different permutations and options and everything. So, easy life. So the PlaySport looks like it'd be right up my street. Press a button and it works. I was also looking at the Panasonic S26. There's some other numbers after that. The one that has got like infinite zoom almost. Very attractive. But people were saying on YouTube that they were having problems with the camera resetting itself depending on light levels and movement and that. And I really can't be bothered with that. I just want something that I can point and shoot and get reasonable sound on. I'm using a little Samsung digital camera here, which is really hard on batteries. 20 minutes for 2 AA batteries. It's really tough on batteries, and I take the memory card out and upload to the computer that way because otherwise it would use the batteries again and they would last no time at all. I basically get one 10-minute video from a pair of batteries, so that's not good enough. It's not the expense, it's the annoyance. This little thing here, I'm going to swap hands here because I'm going to use this hand. Right, Gary, measurements. The diameter here is, I'm going to work in centimeters here because it's easier. 6.5 centimeters diameter. The internal diameter is 5 centimeters, and that little bio in the middle is 2.4 centimeters, so about 1 inch. All right, and then on the little plunger itself here, what do we see? I'll just move this up a wee bit to get more light on it. The external diameter here is 4.3 centimeters, and the internal diameter is 3 centimeters. and it's about, well, just go one centimetre deep and half a centimetre deep here. You can vary those figures to suit yourself. The next one I make, I'm going to make it slightly wider because the pots are just too small. They're about the same size as a toilet roll, and I would prefer them slightly bigger, you know. The other thing I found is when I'm making paper pots, I use 7 centimetres of paper, which gives me about 5 centimetres of height and an overlap in here, which then plunges down onto that piece, and that's what forms it together. I would make it slightly bigger than that because it's just too small, and it gets a bit fiddly at times. The other thing I would do would be, as saying was, don't polish this up really hard when you're doing it in the lathe. What, the lathe, Gary? Remember the lathe? What happened to that since you started your gardening? You know, when you're on the lathe, just polish it about 80, 120 maximum, because if you do it any higher, it'll get too shiny, and when you put the paper on, it'll grip too hard. So you want it to be kind of rough so that the paper will slide off. What you could even do is, instead of making that perfectly parallel, you could taper it down even by 1 degree from here to here. Just take that in by 1 degree at the end, and that'll make a difference to getting them off again. It won't actually affect the form of the piece, you know. So that's the wee pot maker, you know. They're easy made, and I say that's one my wife bought me and got me started making them for other people, and the ones I made are better than that because they're slightly bigger. So I still can't find one I made myself. So that's basically where we are with the garden. Just a wee. Look, there's the sun out again. Isn't that lovely? We've had all day beautiful sunshine and then really bad weather. Oh, I've got something to show you as well. I've got a new toy. I'll just race up to the garage and show you that. 7 minutes, right? We've got time to get up and do that. So, my next video is going to be on cat proofing. I'm buying an automatic sensor that squirts water at the cats in a 110-degree arc, and they don't like the water, which is good. But I'm also going to have to cat proof the beds as well, and I'm going to do that by using netting and poles, and I'll show you that in one of my next videos. I'm hoping to do that today. But my miter saw, my compound miter saw broke. There's it down there. That one there. That piece of useless. Well, it was actually quite good, you know. But like everything else, once it breaks, it has to be taken apart to see how it works. And then I went to a big box store and I bought this one. That one there. That's a nice job, isn't it? It'll do a 14-inch cut and about 3.5-inch plunge, and it does compound miters, double compound and bevels and all that crap. I don't need that. I just need straight square cuts because I'm just doing simple joinery. I'm not an expert in that at all. But I was quite pleased. That was $200 reduced from $300. Now I went to buy something small like that one there and that's the biggest one they had. And I thought I might as well take that. It's got a 3-year guarantee, so it should do my job the very best. So that's my latest toy. I need to replace the blade because the blade on it is a huge brute of a thing, you know, which will not be any good for fine work, but for what I'm doing, it's going to be dead on. So there you go, latest toy, and still on the lathe is a piece of laurel that's been there since January, so I haven't done anything at all, but have to get back into that again. So all the best, folks. Bye bye.